When I did notice that he was behind me, okay, because I was in an RV now. I don't have a rear view mirror and I did not have a side mirror to see him behind me,
That's great.
but,
Those are really good things to tell me
but I was just.
as you're pleading guilty.
Your Honor, we're still in plea negotiations with the state. I believe that it looks like we may have something as far as a plea offer very soon, maybe by the end of this week. So I would just ask that he be set for the February pretrial.
Any objection? All right, then that will be so ordered, February 18th at 9 a.m. However, if there's a plea negotiation and you can come up sooner, we have court dates before then and we'll bring you up sooner.
Okay, can I go ahead and plead guilty now?
Openly to me?
Yes, openly plead guilty, yes.
You can, but I'm sure your attorney would tell you that he doesn't think that's a good idea.
We had the same situation come up at arraignment. He went through everything. The court advised that.
I was having a problem with bail getting out, and I have way more important things I have to take care of at my house. My mother passed away.
Just because you plead today doesn't mean you're going home. You might go to prison. You understand that, right?
Right, but yeah, I understand.
So do you still want to plead today?
What do
You pleading today doesn't mean you go home. You made it sound.
When's my court date? What court date would it be?
Right
February 18th.
September 8th?
February 18th.
February
right now.
18th.
I would like to
9 a.m.
plead guilty now.
Okay, you understand you could go to prison?
Yes,
And you're totally okay with that?
yes, I am.
All right. If you will, please raise your right hand. Sir, do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Mr. Owens, I'm happy for you to say whatever you want to say to protect yourself.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Yeah, I spoke with Mr. Mikovich actually yesterday.
Just listen.
I spoke with him yesterday. We talked about the score sheet, an indication that I believe the total is 24 points. And Mr. Mikovich.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Mikovich brought up an assumption that because it equaled out to 0-0 as far as the lowest permissible sentence, I made sure to advise him that even though that is the lowest permissible sentence, meaning the court doesn't have to sentence him to prison if he were to plead, the court very well could do that because the points are higher than 22. He indicated he understood that. I had no problem believing that he understood that discussion. I also reminded him that at arraignment, we also had this same issue and that the court, as well as myself, advised essentially that Mr. Mikovich not enter an open plea. And he decided at that time not to do it. And so it is against my advice, strongly against my advice that Mr. Mikovich.
And what is it that you're working on with the state?
Right now, we're working out essentially some sort of probation, depending on what the other conditions would be. But given that he has, from what I can tell, no prior record, that's what we were trying to work on.
All right.
Judge?
Yes,
I
sir.
haven't made an offer yet because I haven't had a chance to review the FHP dash cam, and we don't have chemistry back on the substance, but the state can make an offer by Friday. I think the big thing is that this offense count one requires an adjudication of guilt. So the state's going to make likely a probation offer, but it's going to require that he be, adjudicated guilty of that offense. So I think the defense is kind of tendered a soft offer that they're wanting the state to consider withhold, and the state's not going to do that. So, and I know that we're there, but we have had depositions. Trooper Biggs did testify, and I believe that his testimony was pretty accurate with what is in the complaint, as far as throwing up the beers, the hit and run, how it he was identified, the level of damage to the trailer, and the substances that were found after search of the RV. So with that, yes, the state would likely, given his criminal history, make him a probation offer to consider with an adjudication.
Sir, you want to move forward?
I do want to.
All right. I've already placed you under oath. Tell me your full name for the record.
Jonathan Frank Mikovich.
You can put your hand down. Sir, do you understand that by entering into a plea openly, that your total exposure from this court could be 22 years in jail?
Yes, I do.
And do you understand that by entering into an open plea, there is no guarantee what this court will give you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're willing to proceed?
Yeah, that's correct. Yes,
Do you understand that by entering into this plea today, you are giving up your right to go to a trial where the state has to prove the allegations against you?
that is correct.
Do you understand you're giving up your right to present any defenses?
That is correct.
And do you understand you're giving up your right to appeal anything except an illegal sentence?
That is correct.
Are you doing this of your own free will?
I am. Yes, I am.
All right, Mr. Mikovich, I find that your plea is knowingly and voluntarily entered into after the advice of counsel and in fact against the advice of counsel. Mr. Owens, do you stipulate to a factual basis for purposes of the plea?
For the purposes of the plea.
I will find there's a stipulated factual basis for purposes of the plea. Does anyone know of any exculpatory DNA from the state or the defense?
Neither is the defense.
Tell me about the depositions. I see there's allegations of beer cans being thrown out, reckless driving on I-10, disregard for the motorists on I-10.
Yeah, Trooper Big said that part of the RV that he was driving, the whole thing looked like.
Oh, he was reckless driving with an RV.
With an RV, yes.
Okay.
He said that the whole side of it was torn open. There was stuff flying out. He visually observed the defendant throw open and close beer cans during the pursuit. I don't know if those were captured on the in-dash camera.
Okay.
Testify to that.
They were not. They were
Don't
not-
interrupt.
I'm so sorry.
There are, I have not reviewed yet. Looks like there are 1, 2, 3, 4 911 calls as to this incident.
Other people.
Yes. That's what I wanted to review as well. I believe that there was a controlled substance located in the vehicle that tested positive for presumptive for methamphetamine.
All right. Mr. Mikovich, what is it that, do you agree, Mr. Owens, that that is what Trooper Biggs said, whether you agree that it's true or not, but do you agree that's what he relayed and that there were at least 4 other calls?
I can't remember if Trooper Biggs had testimony regarding the other calls.
I don't know. He did. Yeah, I think that was extra from Mr. Gale.
Because I believe the 911 calls were all for the ones I listened to were all from the same individual.
Got it.
not
I
from
have not.
multiple.
Okay, so you've listened to them and it's all the same person.
Right.
What do they say? Well,
Essentially
I'm not going to
giving-
put you in that spot.
No, I mean, essentially what they're doing is speaking with either the person from 911. It sounds like they're familiar with whoever it is they're speaking with, whether it's from 911 or someone with FHP, but essentially trying to give a description of the vehicle. I don't recall hearing anything about seeing the accident and then what happened after that, more so giving a description of the RV, but that's about it.
Okay. Sir, what do you want me to consider before I sentence you?
Yes, ma'am. I just was gonna say, for my part of this, I had clipped the vehicle. I wasn't quite sure if I had hit the vehicle or not. I had pulled over right down the street at the nearest Shell station or Love's truck stop. I got out to look. I didn't see the other side that was damaged. I saw the side that I was on that I looked like it was damaged. So I got back in to go back to locate where I had hit the vehicle. The only thing I could figure out was that the down ramp from the interstate is where I'd hit. So I got back on the interstate to go down and turn around to come back to get back on the ramp to go find where I had hit the vehicle. And then that's when the officer pulled me over. Okay. Now, as far as throwing stuff out the window, I just tell you, I have schizophrenia. I was having a depressive episode. I know that's not an excuse, okay? But that's why I was throwing the thing out the window. The only thing I did not hear the officer behind me at all. When I did notice that he was behind me, okay, because I was in an RV now. I don't have a rearview mirror and I did not have a side mirror to see him behind me.
That's great.
But
Those are really good things to tell me
I was just
as you're pleading guilty.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
I mean, how does that help you that you're riding around in an RV recklessly and
I
you
didn't know
can't
if
see
I-
behind you?
I'm sorry. I'm pleading guilty though, but I just thought I had something to say. I mean, I didn't
That's
know.
fine,
I
but do you
didn't-
understand how none of this is helpful to you?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, go
Yeah,
ahead.
okay,
I'll-
anyway, like I was saying, anyway, I had pulled over and then the officer arrested me. No, but that was it. I was just trying to give you my example.
Anything from the state or the defense regarding sentencing?
Nothing further.
Defense?
The only thing I can say is that as far as the schizophrenia that Mr. Mikovich is talking about, I've not even had the opportunity to follow up on that to get what we would need in order to show that. I can say in watching the dash cam that Mr. Mikovich did not appear to resist arrest when the officers essentially did a felony stop where he was at gunpoint and pulled from the RV.
Did you watch the alleged fleeing?
Part of it, so there's two different videos. So actually there's three different cars in which video is shown. There's the arresting officer, which is Trooper Biggs. He did not, and we got into this in deposition, he did not have his car camera on for the entirety of the quote unquote chase because there was something else going on before that. He had manually, I think, turned it off and didn't manually turn it back on until they were on the interstate. So his is fairly short as far as the chase. I think it may be 30 seconds, maybe a minute, if anything. Then
From what I'm seeing, there's multiple vehicles chasing him.
yes. So then there's another FHP officer who has a very long video, but it's essentially, I don't know where he's coming from, but he is flying and it takes him a while. I want to say maybe up to 30 minutes to even get to where this is at. So there's, once he gets there, he's not involved in the pursuit. And then there is an officer with Cottondale Police Department that is second behind Trooper Biggs, and his dash cam, for whatever reason, is essentially pointed over towards the passenger side A pillar, I believe. So you can sort of see part of it. But what occurred on the interstate, according to the videos that I saw, was I think that the Cottondale officer's video actually shows his speed, and I don't recall the speedometer that's shown going over, I think, 80 miles per hour, and I think it was mostly in the low 70s on the interstate. And so that's what I would add.
Mr. Gill, the first vehicle that gets involved in the crash, that happens on I-10?
I'm not too clear, Your Honor. I think it was on the I-10 ramp. I think that's where it occurred.
130 is the Cottondale ramp. Is that what you believe to be the case?
Based on Mr. Mikovich's account of trying to, I know you can't get back on those on ramps unless you go down to wherever the next exit is and come back around. So that's my understanding.
All right, Mr. Mikovich, anything else? All right, Mr. Mikovich, I accept your plea of no contest to the charges that have been indicated to 1 second-degree felony count of fleeing, high-speed reckless, 1 third-degree felony count of possession of a controlled substance, 1 first-degree misdemeanor count of paraphernalia, 1 first-degree misdemeanor count of leaving the scene. I'm going to sentence you to time served on the misdemeanors. On each of the felonies, I'm going to sentence you to serve 24 months in the State Department of Corrections with credit for 108 days that you've already served towards that sentence. So do you want to be housed near somewhere? If Mississippi is home, do you want to be at the edge of Florida in Escambia County?
So I'm going to prison?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
I would recommend inter near Escambia County. Sir, I am required to tell you that if you wish to appeal.
Mississippi. Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Mississippi, right. That's why I want Escambia. Is there something closer?
I believe Escambia is the end.
Okay, I will recommend in or near Escambia County. I am required to tell you that if you wish to appeal this court's judgment and sentence, you have 30 days within which to do so. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you for that purpose, okay?
So, I didn't get probation?
No, sir. Mr. Mikovich, step to the back. Thank you.